So in the house right now, live and in person, Bill Herzog. Now I know a lot of you guys saw a recent episode we did on the Yakima River, and that was really cool. So Bill, I appreciate you coming in here today. Came all the way from Yakima area anyway over here to Woodland, but you're doing a sports show too.
Sure.
Portland. So what, you're at the Shimano booth?
Yeah, exactly. You're only 20 miles away.
Yeah,
just a shot up the freeway.
So this is awesome that you got a chance to come in here. But I had a lot of requests. A lot of people, first of all, they wanted to know, where can I buy those jigs? Because we're using these really cool jigs that Bill makes in that show on the Yakima River for trout. But Bill makes them himself, and you know, it's not like you invented them. This type of jig's been around a long time because they're extremely effective. And Bill's really got a clear idea, I think, on why they work and how to build them. So thought I'd have them in here to show you guys how they're built, so you can do it yourself. Or if you, I don't know where you can buy something like this, but
you really can't.
Yeah,
you can't.
You know, and this kind of thing, this kind of fishing, the whole concept, it's more fun if you do it yourself anyway, I think.
It's like why we like to tie flies for steelhead, why we tie our own steelhead jigs, because at our own little whimsy we make when we catch fish on them, it just makes it a little bit more special.
Yeah, sure. I used to do a lot of this kind of stuff, and it's fun, you know. I miss it, you know. So and it's not something that you can go crazy and really spend a lot of money doing all kinds of stuff and buying all kinds of materials, but you know, the old $15, my old Thompson Vise, you know, 15, 20 bucks, I don't know what they are now. But
just something that hangs onto the hook is good enough.
You know, and of course you could buy a $300 Vise. Okay, Bill, so you've got everything laid out here. What do we got?
What do we have? Well, this is easier for you to see. So I have a white-headed jig here. This is an 1/8 ounce jig with a #1 hook. Now that's pretty much your all-around size for river fishing, and even in lakes and shallow waters. You're talking in the spring or in the fall when the fish come in shallow, or any time in river situation, the 1/8 ounce jig will get you down just fine, okay? Sometimes we go up to 1/4 when we fish in big lakes, reservoirs in the middle of summer and want to get deeper, but for 90% of what you're going to do, the 1/8 ounce jig head and #1 hook will do everything for you. And when we start, I just have a plain black thread we're going to use today, so I want to wind that all the way down to the back of the hook, because that's where we're going to start. And we're going to start with bunny rabbit. Rabbit is the most durable, and it has the most action, more than marabou, more than anything, and it looks just like a tail, okay? We're going to tie this one in brown, okay? This is plain 1/8 inch brown bunny. Now I've already cut it to, that's approximately 1 inch. You'd think that's not a very long tail, but it's actually longer than it looks because the hair goes back quite a ways past the back of the tail. And we're going to tie that in way towards the bottom. And for the reason you do that, you would just start wrapping it, tie it in there. And you see how far back I tie it? Almost to the start of the bend. What that does, it prevents it from flipping around and catching. When you're casting, it keeps it, holds it back there a little ways. Now that we have our tail on there, we want to do our body material. And the best body material I found, that we want something that looks like a sculpin, because big trout love sculpins, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to match a sculpin, match the hat, so to speak. So the best body material I found, this is kind of hard to find, but you can get it online pretty easy. This is Squirrel Zonker Pine Squirrel in olive, and it looks just like a sculpin. I'm going to start tying that on right on the end there.
So it's basically all green color,
yeah,
but that's truly squirrel.
Yeah, it sure is. And what I'm doing, this is called palmering. I'm just going to start wrapping it towards the front, in front of itself, like so. And to make it easier, just kind of get a little wet and push her back like that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go 7 times, and then, of course, tie that off tight against the shank of the jig, and then trim it close as you can without cutting it.
Yeah, probably one thing you probably want to invest a little money on this is a good pair of scissors.
Oh, right? Absolutely, a good pair of sharp scissors.
That makes a big difference.
Okay, secure that in there. Now we are ready for step 3. Now we're going to put in what I call the gill plates. Okay, like when a fish is breathing on the red gill, this is just red hackle, small red hackle right here. I'm going to tie in the tip right in behind where we finished off with our pine squirrel. Trim that piece right there. It's getting in the way, and I'm going to palmer it also around the shaft up towards the head. 3,
it's a nice
4,
bloody gills
5,
there.
6, and then of course tie it off, give it 2 or 3 good wraps, hold it still, trim it close, looks good, okay, and feather it back like that, hold it back and tie it in well so it doesn't come loose. There's your gills, okay? Now we're gonna put the head on there. And I like to use grizzly hackle. Grizzly is the barred, like this, what you see right here. What it does is it breaks up the silhouette. It looks kind of like a bullhead head, and plus it's contrast from the red and the olive and the brown.
Right.
And what we
And
do
hackle feathers are the neck feathers of
yeah,
the chicken, and these chickens are bred and developed specifically for this. So you can't, I mean, don't go like catch a chicken out in the farmyard. It's not going to work the same. These are for special chickens.
Right. Okay, we're going to tie the tip of that in also. Not going to trim it, just kind of fold it back so it sits right on there like so. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to palmer it towards the front. Kind of push it back with my fingers so it doesn't overlap itself. Now, this is the simplified version I'm showing you. I make them much fancier than this one. Now you see I get towards the end, you see how it just kind of gets really feathery right up here. This breathes beautifully, the bottom end of this.
A little bit of movement, natural movement.
And I'll do that, I'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, and also trim this real close and push it back again and make the head just to secure it, give it a whole bunch of wraps until you get a little bit of buildup going. And that's usually good enough. And I'll do a few half hitches on there to hold it still. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is a trout jig. The problem you're going to have with these jigs is twofold. You're going to outfish your friends. They're not going to like you anymore. Second thing is, you're not going to catch any small fish on these. Once a trout gets to a certain size, they become piscivorous, and usually the smallest fish you'll catch with this will be 14 to 16 inches. That's a small side. Get used to hooking the biggest trout in the river. This will catch browns, rainbows, cutthroats, sea run, west slope, you name it. Brook trout love these. Brook trout go nuts for them back in my area, back in the east side. And giant brown trout in Montana, oh baby dog. Now all you have to do to make this thing, wait, I take some clear nail polish. Just I want to secure this down. I'll pull that off of there, just like that. Oh, glad we're done with that. Kind of wet it back so it doesn't catch on itself. I'll take just a couple drops of clear nail polish to secure that thread like that. And that'll do it. And set her down, let her dry, make a bunch. You're gonna need a bunch.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So, okay, now you forgot one thing.
Uh-oh.
You got to point this out because in the show, now you got to go back, you got to watch the show. If you didn't catch it on TV or haven't seen it yet, I'll put the link below. But go watch this show we did with Bill on the Yakima River for trout. We're fishing these jigs and also the rooster tail spinners.
Sure.
And just like you're saying, these catch bigger fish. Well, that day this caught bigger fish. And I learned that when I was about 10 years old on the Yellowstone River in Montana. I was fishing with this little guy that I knew, and he just completely kicked my butt one day. I mean, I caught a bunch of fish, but all his fish were bigger.
Sure,
So I learned about jigs then. But, okay, this is square.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I told you
I'm
this once
watching
before.
you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
watching.
Okay.
Gotta keep an eye on you, Billy.
All right, now what
Forgot
you want to make this thing work even better, trim off the edges so they're not blocked, and so they're more like a little arrow there. Now what that does, I learned this from a fly fisherman a long time ago. Instead of just your hand being open like that, imagine your hand being like this going through the water. Same thing. This makes even more action on your lure. You probably don't need it, but you know, it never hurts to do something just a little extra, right, Justin?
Yeah, and with this type of a jig, you have to actually fish it. This is a skill thing. I mean, you have to be good at what you're doing and mimic a live, real fish in this case. Whereas maybe with twitching, you know, like for salmon, you're using a pink jig of some sort. It's a little bit different.
And you're using a lot more animated movements. With these, you want to just move that jig along the rocks like a sculpin would do. A sculpin never rises up, you know, where a fish can get at it. It stays in the rock. So we want to move this when your chick's downstream, just little 4 to 6 inch hops, just to keep it
so
up and keep it moving.
What's the right rod to?
A 7 to 8 foot, something 4 to 6, 4 to 8. I use a 10-pound braid, on it, and I'll run 6-7 feet of like 8-pound or even 6-pound ultra green, maximum ultra green, in front of unit on it to it, and tie it to your jig, and off you go.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want a soft enough tip to where the rod doesn't inhibit the action of the
Right,
jig.
right,
I think
right.
that's the main idea. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Well, that's pretty awesome. So, yeah, if you guys come in the shop here in Woodland, I'll have this jig here. You can check it out closely, and hopefully at some point here I'll have these materials in here, or we can do this sort of thing a little bit more. But that's pretty cool. Or actually, I might just keep this one.
I think you
myself,
should.
That's very.
That one will
cool.
fish real well, that one.
Yeah. Okay, so you use the white head so we can see better.
Right, right.
What color head would you choose?
Primarily black. 90% of the time it'll be black head because it looks more natural. Oh, I use dark brown sometimes too. And even sometimes when I go brown trout fishing in Montana, they like a gray head. I found that out one day just screwing around.
Yeah.
They like gray, but white also works quite well. Don't discount white.
Sure. Yeah, but natural colors.
Yeah.
more or less. That's awesome. Well, I sure appreciate you coming in, Bill.
My pleasure,
Always
sir.
a pleasure. So check out that show. Go back on YouTube here and check out that show in the Yakima River. And then we've got a new one coming out that we just filmed, back trolling maglibs.
Ooh, that was fun.
Yeah. So you want to see some vicious takedowns? Or some
Steelheading
trout.
in miniature is what it is.
It was pretty fun, and so we'll be working on that one. It'll be available before too long, hopefully. All right, thanks, Bill. We'll be talking to you soon. Hopefully, we'll get out and do some more fishing because you promised me a really cool thing.
Oh, you will
We're
see
gonna
these
keep it a
jigs
secret.
again. You're going to see these jigs
we're
again.
gonna go do another show on another river on the east side, and you're gonna want to watch that one too. I'm excited about that. Thanks, Bill.